Welcome to Earl's Music Emporium. On this week's show, the twangy banjo sounds of David Schulte, accompanied by Gord Dorish.
Used to call you beautiful, darling, you still are. Hard to be so close to you, and yet you seem so far. Text you every morning, love so far from true. Now it's rare I even get a Facebook like from you. And I know we're not supposed to be keeping score, but I'm not your anything anymore. You used to call me darling, whisper those sweet words. Now I think that they might have been the sweetest I've ever heard. Peaches in the summertime, apples in the fall. Now I do not get any nourishment at all. And I know we're not supposed to be keeping score, but I'm not your anything anymore. That you still care for me, think you do, but someone else is getting all the very best from you. Wish you all the happiness that your heart can hold, and carry you in my memory until I'm gray and old. And I know we're not supposed to be keeping score, but I'm not your anything anymore. And I know we're not supposed to be keeping score, but I'm not your anything anymore. As a child, my parents tried to get me into piano, and it was a miserable failure, but then I got a guitar for my 15th birthday, and I really took to that. Mostly just doing chords. I've never had the ability to do lead, but I really enjoyed playing guitar. And then I came to Prince George to live, and I saw an ad for a bluegrass band, and they were going to give me a bass and teach me how to play double bass, and I was in heaven and loved playing double bass. Guitar, of course, and then through my friend George Garbett, he influenced me to learn how to play banjo and mandolin. On a back trip headed east, feeling pretty tired, pulled into Lloydminster, thought I could retire. Chose my spot, settled down, place to rest my eyes. Went to bed in Alberta, much to my surprise. I woke up in Saskatchewan. I woke up in Saskatchewan. I woke up in Saskatchewan. Alberta's gone. Out-of-body experience, but I seemed okay. Didn't see a problem, so I went on with my day. Yesterday ate supper plus Alberta's duty fee. Today I had my breakfast with a 10% increase. I woke up in Saskatchewan. I woke up in Saskatchewan. I woke up in Saskatchewan. Alberta's gone. place from red to green. After that I'm not so sure of differences between the border folks of Lloydminster. One thing that I will swear to with complete accuracy, Lloydminster, A.B. or S.K., they've both been good to me. I woke up in Saskatchewan. I woke up in Saskatchewan. I woke up in Saskatchewan. Alberta's gone. Moral of this story, and it's telling through and through, is be prepared in case this situation happens to you. I know that there will come a day when I open my eyes and no longer can gaze upon the blue Saskatchewan skies. I woke up in Saskatchewan, fields of yellow and the fields of green, growing underneath the shining sun, stretches on and on and on and on. Fields of yellow and the fields of green, growing underneath the shining sun, stretches on and on and on and on. I am playing with Gord Dorvish, who is a member of Mud River. That's another band I play in. And he was nice enough to accompany me. He's been great with recording my songs and giving me advice. And yeah, just a great friend and a good musical friend as well. Pulled out a Prince Rupert on a cold and rainy day. Watched the Skeena narrow as drove the lone highway. Train tracks kept me company, the sun began to shine. 353 more miles with you on my mind. 353 more miles till I get back home to you. When I walk on through the front door, know exactly what you're gonna do. You're gonna hold me, please me, kiss me, squeeze me, love me the whole night. Through 353 more miles till I get back home to you. Made it into Terrace in a simple state of grace. By the time I got to Hazelton, big smile on my face. Smithers, such a pretty town, the mountains loom so tall. Kept that Ranger in fifth gear, flying like a cannonball. 353 more miles till I get back home to you. When I walk on through the front door, know exactly what you're gonna do. You're gonna hold me, please me, kiss me, tease me, love me the whole night. Through 353 more miles till I get back home to you. Sweet low down, keep me mellow, Scott Cook makes me smile. Eagle Smith and his 18 wheels keep me going for a few more miles. Joey Only and his backbeat, Corin, Raymond and Ragu. 353 more miles till I get back home to you. 353 more miles till I get back home to you. When I walk on through the front door, know exactly what you're gonna do. You're gonna hold me, please me, kiss me, squeeze me, love me the whole night. Through 353 more miles till I get back home to you. Vanderhoof in my rearview mirror, trip was looking done. Road was clear, sky was blue, soon with my loving one. Further I find myself away, the more my love it grew. 353 more miles till I get back home to you. 353 more miles till I get back home to you. When I walk on through the front door, know exactly what you're gonna do. You're gonna hold me, please me, kiss me, tease me, love me the whole night. Through 353 more miles till I get back home to you. Year was 1914. Our
boys went off to war. Sons kissed mothers, husbands kissed wives, some they would see no more. As the bullets entered their bodies with one pathetic plea, remember me, remember me, remember me. 1939 again, the world was back at war. Children sat in bombed out churches like they had before. Perhaps someday we'll find a way to live in harmony. Until that time, remember me, remember me. I was a son I'll never marry, I was a girl I'll never grow. I was a mother whose children she will never know. I was a baby playing freely, as happy as can be. Remember me, remember me, remember me. Here I am just 20, in a foreign land, fighting in another war I'll never understand. Although I'm gone, I can still live on in your memory. Remember me, remember me, remember me. I was a son I'll never marry, I was a girl I'll never grow. I was a mother whose children she will never know. I was a baby playing freely, as happy as can be. Remember me, remember me, remember me. The year was 1914, our boys went off to war. Sons kissed mothers, husbands kissed wives, some they would see no more. As the bullets entered their bodies with one pathetic plea, remember me, remember me, remember me. Remember me, remember me, remember me.
If I'm uneasy or anxious, I'll start playing an instrument, and just that alone helps me calm down. My parents have commented that when something's going on, I tend to start playing music more. But it's also nice that I've been playing a few upbeat tunes, and I guess traveling, like, to be honest with you, traveling on the road, there's something about traveling on the road that really gives me inspiration, and just seeing different places and that feeling of freedom. So yeah, being on the road on a bicycle and or a car really helps me out.
Boy stands by the side of the road, waves as the trucks roll on by. Toss him a treat and he catches the sweet, and the driver lifts his arm in reply. He thinks of his dad who goes out late at night, making his way in the dark. He bites in the treat and he's happy to eat, 'cause it's Christmas in Kandahar. Sergeant Mackenzie looks up at the sky, waits for the red dawning light. 12 hours away, his son calls it a day, and he settles down for the night. He sleeps in his bed and a dream fills his head, his dad, greasy hands, and a car. He awakes the next day, but the silence betrays that it's Christmas in Kandahar. One day they'll stop fighting, they're tired, I know that they are. And the bombs and the blasts be a thing of the past, just like Christmas in Kandahar. A man hides by the side of the road, waits as the tanks roll on past. He tucks himself down and lies fearfully still, shielding himself from the blast. The medics soon arrive, keeping people alive. Flares in the sky, bright like stars. Helicopters touch down in the center of town, 'cause it's Christmas in Kandahar. One day they'll stop fighting. They're tired, I know that they are. And the bombs and the blasts be a thing of the past, just like Christmas in Kandahar. A boy and a man and his family, same thing a half world away. What better gift than to come true this wish? No more Christmas in Kandahar. No more Christmas in Kandahar.
I find most of my inspiration just comes from normal everyday things. I'm thinking about, some of them pop up into my head very quickly, like just phrases like Christmas in Kandahar, and you sort of start to explore a story there. And I saw that clip on the news of the soldiers giving Christmas greetings, and I thought, oh, what it must be like to be in Kandahar at Christmas. And 353 is me looking at a sign as I'm driving past, and just the number interested me. And woke up in Saskatchewan, just had that phrase of I'm biking along, and then the next day, oh, I've woken up in Saskatchewan. And they just really simple phrases, and then they sort of take off. Once I've got a sort of phrase in my head, it generally is quite quick. It's the music that takes a bit more time, but it's a pretty quick process once I have a good phrase to latch onto.
My friend came over a while ago, looking for some tools. Rummaged round in my back shed, see what he could use. Settled on a moving dolly, had us a couple of beers. Haven't seen that dolly now, been going on 3 years. Why don't you bring it on back, bring it on back, bring it on back to me. Thought you had a passing interest, now I can clearly see. You're looking at the situation just a little more permanently. Why don't you bring it on back, bring it on back, bring it on back to me. My friend came over late last month to the concert hall. Saw Ego Smith and his traveling show, had ourselves a ball. He looked at the CDs in my hand, can I listen to them please? That was the last that I ever saw of my Ego Smith CDs. Why don't you bring it on back, bring it on back, bring it on back to me. Thought you had a passing interest, now I can clearly see. You're looking at the situation just a little more permanently. Why don't you bring it on back, bring it on back, bring it on back to me. My friend got in an accident, he was feeling low. My wife went over to help him out, didn't want him on his own. One day turned to 3, turned to 20, I marveled at her charity. She took the last of her things yesterday, left me with a memory. Why don't you bring it on back, bring it on back, bring it on back to me. Thought you had a passing interest, now I can clearly see. You're looking at the situation just a little more permanently. Why don't you bring it on back, bring it on back, bring it on back to me. Why don't you bring it on back, bring it on back, bring it on back to me. Why don't you bring it on back, bring it on back, bring it on back to me.
Next week on Earl's Music Emporium, the country stylings of Marty Robert.